Yo guys, what's going on? Rob with 421 Media House coming at you again with another deck review. This week I've got the Talon playing cards by Ellusionist. So if you can see here, it says the Talon Alliance, UK, US, designed and developed impossible power playing cards on the front of the top case. If we turn this over to the side, California, US, produced by Ellusionist Playing Card Company, established in 2001. Dexterous and deadly. It says Talons on the top. We got the back design of the playing cards on the back. We'll get more into that back design here in a second, and then some Ellusionist copy print here on the bottom. This is a pretty standard, you can see gloss paper tuck case. There's not a whole lot to it. Overall, don't mind the tuck case. It's not terrible. It's not the best tuck case I've ever seen. It's kind of hard to compete those private reserves that I reviewed earlier. Let's get into these cards. So the back design of these cards is this very unique orange color. It is a two-way back design, so it doesn't matter which way it's facing. You can flip these guys around, and there's no difference there. It says Talons. It has this really unique stencil designed owl with the lightning bolt on it. I do dig the back design of these cards. I think it's very unique, very interesting. Thin borders, this hard black line separating the white from the black, and then the orange again in there. There's not a whole lot as far as color goes. I have seen quite a few magicians using these playing cards, and you'll kind of see in a second here when I flip these over and we can take a look at the faces. The faces are fairly simple. The back design is fairly simple. I think that these are a good substitute if you're somebody that typically uses rider backs or tally hos and you want something just a little bit different, spice it up a little bit. Might be worth checking these out. It does come with almost identical jokers, just the only difference is that stamp is slightly different on both cards. So that's kind of an interesting, unique thing. The other two cards that these come with is it comes with a second 9 of spades, and it comes with a double backer. For those magic folks out there that are planning on using this for something like that, the leading ace of spades here has the Ellusionist Playing Card Company. It's got this bird, captured imagination, and again, it's got the lightning bolts on it. Kind of a unique ace of spades. You can probably tell here the pips and indices are slightly different shapes and colors than they typically are. They're almost a little bit bolder, I would say, on those numbers. But other than that, pretty standard. Once we get into the face cards here, you do have these unique jokers, unique face cards. Again, you see that lightning bolt, you see some eyes, you see a feather that they're holding. Pretty unique. Queen's got lightning bolts. King's got the lightning bolts on his chest. He's holding his swords. I do really enjoy these. Again, these are similar to the Theory 11 decks where these hearts and the orange, red colors, the colors that would typically be red on a deck, they're a little bit more orange on this particular deck. So they're almost a native looking face cards. Again, we got that Suicide King. Always kind of neat to see that one. Interesting deck of cards, like I said. I do enjoy this deck. It's not anything too fancy. It's not going to draw too much attention to the deck, but it's kind of, like I said, it's a little bit more interesting than using a deck of tally hos or a deck of rider backs. As far as the performance of these cards goes, they are on a USPCC premium crushed card stock. They handle great, so you can't go too wrong just in the handling of this deck of cards. I really like the way that these cards feel. Anybody that's kind of seen my reviews knows that's one of my favorite card stocks. Kind of a fairly standard stock. As with most decks, these are traditionally cut. They faro great right out of the box. These are weak at use. You can tell that I've kind of got a bit of a bend in my cards. I do my to-go-to fidget move is under pressure. So you kind of see a lot of that in stuff that I do. So these are kind of everything that I want to see. This particular deck I was buying a bundle of Ellusionist cards. I think as you buy 3 decks, you get a free deck of Talons. I'm not sure what the current promotion is. I've actually been sitting on these cards for a little bit. I believe they're about $6 or $7 for a deck of cards. So I'm going to break this down for you guys quickly. As far as the tuck case goes, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. You know, it's kind of standard, nothing too crazy. As far as the design of the cards goes, I really dig the design. It's something that's accessible for both cardists and magicians, which is kind of nice to see. You know, a nice deck that looks cool and flourishes as well as is magic accessible. So I'm going to give the design of these cards a 7 out of 10. As far as the performance goes, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I love that USPCC crushed stock. They're traditionally cut. They are performance coated. They're air cushion finish. All things that I like to see from a deck of cards. And as far as the value goes, you can't go too wrong. So I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10 for value. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. If there's anything that you guys want to see from me, be sure to comment below. If you guys have any thoughts on this deck of cards, what would you give it for a rating? Be sure to comment that below as well, and I'll be sure to check that out and see what you guys think of these. And we'll see you guys next week for another deck review. Deck reviews every Thursday, podcast comes out every Tuesday, Build Along comes out every Saturday. We'll see you guys later.